And then the company had the nerve to say that they consider it stolen property. Can you believe that? Now we have been blacklisted forever. And I have to say, I'm really gonna miss this RV park.
Like this just opened up out of nowhere. All that we've seen is just flat land. Look at this.
I don't know why we share so much with y'all. Sometimes I think we go a little too far.
Did you say the bar was bigger than City Hall?
The grill and bar was bigger than City Hall, yeah. So somewhere between here and there is where the storm's coming from.
Alright, y'all, we are fixing to hitch the truck up and head down the road to our first stop for the night, which is in Sioux City, Nebraska. Nebraska is just going to be a flyover state.
And I have to say, I'm really going to miss this RV park because even though it's Mother's Day weekend and it's busy, it's so quiet. You can hear the birds chirping. There's not, people aren't making a whole bunch of noise. It's really beautiful here and it's not overwhelming with traffic and congestion. Even though it's full, it's a really great park.
I think I told Matthew the other day we sleep well because I guess they do close the gates at 10, so you don't have people, riding around, with their mufflers and stuff. We're not close to the interstate. There's not a train here. It is really quiet and peaceful.
Way to go. Way to go, Scott County, Iowa.
Are you ready to go to South Sioux City?
I am. Bring it on.
And that's Nebraska, but we don't earn a sticker, do we?
No, because we have a 2-night rule and we only have 1 night in Nebraska.
All right, y'all, let's get him pulled out of here.
I didn't know it was raining. Come on in.
Matthew, I just got soaked.
I'm sorry. I thought I'm going to do a good thing by washing it before we move.
Y'all, he just soaked me with windshield wiper fluid, and I got the other camera going recording. Now my forehead is soaked.
Oh.
I was like, it's blue skies, there's no clouds. I have no idea what he's doing.
I'm sorry.
And look at my phone.
Well, your phone's waterproof. Oops. I thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't think about the timing of it.
So our tank's almost empty and you're fueling up.
Yeah, we got like a quarter tank.
And at the pump, what's the price? $5.28, and according to TSD, we should get it for $5.08 or something.
That's pretty. All right, the wind can stop now.
Matthew loves the wind, everybody.
I hate the cold and I hate the wind. This has been the windiest freaking year I've ever seen.
Question is it gonna make it to 200?
That ain't funny.
Oh, it's still going. Oh, wait. Oh, it stopped. Wow. Alright, y'all, this is our site at the Scenic RV Campground in South Sioux City, Nebraska, and we get to see the river over there. So that's Iowa, y'all, right across the river, and we're on the Nebraska side. Here's our site. We're site number 5. You get a picnic table, a patio, a fire ring, and we parked all the way in the back, so our door's not on the patio because they put the hookups all the way in the back. And that's what Matthew's doing right now. And I tried to, and when it's a gravel site with grass on each side. And here's the hookups. I lined them up with the sewer, and you get, that's 50 amp, right?
Yes.
And then you get water and sewer. So we picked this spot over a donkey farm harvest hose.
And I actually kind of missed that because I would have liked to have seen a donkey farm. That might have been really neat.
But this place looked really nice online. Not as nice in person, but it is by the river. And we don't even know if we could have gotten to the donkey farm. We just know it was on our way. But yeah, the donkey farm would have been cute too.
But we've never been by a river before. All right, y'all. It is Sunday morning. We were only in South Sioux City, Nebraska for one night. It was a windy night. I think the winds are, yesterday the winds were like 20, 25 miles an hour. Wind gusts up to 39. Today, the wind gusts themselves are what's in the 20s. So it's not as bad, but good grief, it's still windy.
Y'all, I think Matthew wants to be a guy of the 50s, right? I'm talking about like the 1950s.
I don't know why we share so much with y'all. Sometimes I think we go a little too far. Our hookups are in a big mud puddle. And so we decided it's easier to change socks than it is to clean these. And so I'm rolling my pants up like a nerd because I don't want my pants dirty. So that's where we at.
So now, y'all, I'm going to have to show y'all what this mud puddle looks like because y'all are going to want to know. And then I got to come back in and finish breaking down. We are still in South Sioux City.
It's right. You're not going to be able to hear me out there because it's horribly windy, but it is right where the wet bay is, and that's exactly where I need to be.
There it is. Now that's funny, Matthew. Just go ahead and step in the water. Y'all, this is what he has to stand in. Like, it was all dry yesterday, and that's how much it rained. Alright, y'all, we are fixing to leave. We were only here for one night in Nebraska, so we don't earn our sticker, but we are on our way to Plankinton, South Dakota. We're finally making it to South Dakota.
Yay!
Seems like a long journey, but we're supposed to be there for 2.5 weeks. We can't check in there till after 1. Alright, everybody's leaving the park. I think Sunday's big, Exodus Day.
Uh-huh.
So we had Garmin all set up, and then we put Google in because we run Google too, which is very important because sometimes Google gets the exact location, like when you get right into an RV park. Because here, the GPS wanted us to turn like a couple of turns before, wanted us to go to the YMCA, and Google's like, no, it's down, So that's why I try to map out the map or our route too. But so today we hooked them both up, and Google's like, there's a road closure on I-90, which is a major interstate between Sioux Falls and Plankinton, and even to get to Rapid City. And now we've got the GPS for our RV hooked up to your phone to hopefully give us live updates. We're hoping the road's just down to one lane, but if not, we're hoping the GPS can
safely reroute us.
I mean, because 18-wheelers, if they can't go, they're going to have to go somewhere too. So it's just a little scary.
We'll make it.
And seeing what happens, yeah. All right, you ready to go?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right, you're past the picnic table. You're way past that post. We made it to South Dakota.
Yay.
And we didn't realize it was so close, so we don't have footage of the sign or Google saying welcome to South Dakota. So Matthew will say it.
Welcome to South Dakota.
Because that's what Google sounds like, y'all. Seeing if these mole ride stairs are gonna work now. Got these 2 tires up on some blocks because we heard that on one of the forums.
Perfect. It works.
One more time, y'all. We had to put the tires up on just one level of leveling blocks a piece because you see the ground, might be hard to tell, but it kind of slopes up. And when we first put the stairs down, the door wouldn't shut good. So we had heard other people that have these mow-ride stairs that they said, oh, just level one side like this, put some blocks under it, and then it'll shut perfectly, and that's what we did.
Yep, and it works. All right, this is not Sean's first time towing, but the truck, as you can see, is under the RV. So she wanted to pull out. So this is step one in learning how to drive. I guess is learning how to unhitch. So let me get back here. All right, hit it.
Now you're taking the brake off, right?
Yeah, it'll beep at you if it's on. Go on. Keep going. A little farther. There you go, stop. So that was your first time unhitching from a trailer. How's it feel?
It felt weird, but it kind of felt good that at least I did that step. And I know it was only once, but you don't really know what it feels like until you do it. So.
A little empowering, maybe?
Yeah.
Step two, going down the interstate.
No, I still have to figure out how to hitch up first.
Right.
All right, y'all, we're at Site 6 at the Hills RV Campground. Is that what it's called?
Something.
Look at our sewer. It is just flat to the ground. Now look at our neighbor's sewer. They got two ways to use it. You can use it from the top or the side. It's way above ground. And yeah, it's both kind of angled. I don't know. What do y'all think? How would y'all use this kind of sewer? Anyways, let me give you a tour of our site. We're site number 6. She said we could choose any site we wanted to. I think she only had a couple that were reserved, so we chose this one because, as I pointed out before, the sewer's flat on this one. So we have water, and we have sewer, and we have 50 amp. Site number 6. There's grass in between the sites, and it's gravel pavement. Plenty of room for the truck. We're 36 feet. The truck is 21 feet. And then they provide you a picnic table. No firing here. All right, why are you excited? Let me zoom in over here.
I'm excited because of this. If you can read it, it's 115 download, 11.78 upload, and that is using our brand new internet. So what happened in a nutshell is we had our internet through Mobile Must Have, but it wasn't really through them. They just referred us to a third party. That third party said, you got 4 days, count them 4 days until we shut her down. And they did. Now it took a little bit longer than that, but they still shut it down. We got a refund, the whole 9 yards. Now Mobile Must Have has its own plan. They don't refer you out to anybody. They don't farm it out anymore. They do their own plan through AT&T. I think they have one for T-Mobile and one for Verizon. We chose AT&T. We just got our SIM card in the mail in the middle of a tiny town in South Dakota where we are currently, and we just put it in our Pep Wave. I went on Mobile Must Have, and their customer service on my phone gave me a really good instruction on what to do. I had to change a couple of things in the admin, and now in the middle of nowhere, I mean cotton picking nowhere.
Tell them where we are.
Plankinton, South Dakota. It's a neat little town. There's nothing here, and we are getting screaming fast internet. Alright, time for an update. You know those speeds we just saw you, the lightning fast speeds on the AT&T plan? Well, that lasted all 5 minutes. Yep, 5 minutes. That's all we got. Then it went to 0. So what happened was then 4 more days went by, and I was doing as much research as I could. Mobile Must Have was fantastic in trying to help us troubleshoot it, and we got nowhere. Finally, they dug deeper into our account, Mobile Must Have did, and you remember that plan where we said we only got 4 days notice? Yeah, that one. That plan was also an AT&T plan, but that was through a company called Easy Mobile Data. Well, and this is partly my speculation as to how everything exactly happened, but AT&T apparently disliked that company so much, or that plan, or maybe the people on the plan, whatever, that they considered all of those modems blacklisted. They said any of these modems here that we know of in this group with Easy Mobile Data on this plan, blacklisted. So now we've been blacklisted, but that's not the whole story. Also, we've been told through Mobile Must Have that AT&T considers those modems as stolen property. Can you imagine? Yeah, we're using a stolen modem. No, that's stupid. So the modem's not stolen, but they consider it stolen. We had a couple of choices then. Our router has 2 modems. It's a dual modem. It's a Max Transit Duo PepWave. I might be getting those backwards, but that's what it is. So we could either try to put the SIM card in the other modem, and hopefully AT&T doesn't know about that one and it'd register just fine. Or we could go with a different plan. And one of our choices was Verizon. Verizon plan they had was speed capped to 10 megabytes a second, and it only gave you like 300 gigs a month, I think. But then they got a new one where it was totally uncapped, no speed limits. It just depends on the tower and the usual stuff. And 1 whole terabyte. A terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, I think. So 1 whole terabyte of data per month. So we went with that. So now we're going to have Verizon on our computers and our in-home Wi-Fi. And we're going to have AT&T still on our good old-fashioned wireless plans for the phones. So now we have to wait for yet another SIM card in the mail in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, for us to ever use our Wi-Fi. That's where we're at. All right, y'all. This is a windy day, so I hope you can hear me. This is our view. Look at it. I mean, this really is pretty. You might not can tell by the way the sky looks, but over there is we're looking approximately southwest. And there's a storm coming. Let me back that up a little bit. Today is Thursday. We got here the previous Sunday. So, got here Sunday. It was windy, but weather's fine. Yesterday, Wednesday, there were some storms that came in, but it didn't hit us. Today is supposed to be the Mac Daddy of all the storms. They're talking 70 mile an hour wind gusts. They're talking about possible tornadoes, large hail, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Let me tell you something about hail. You're taking a gamble because, if it's quarter size, it may or may not do some damage. If it's golf ball size, yeah, it's going to do some damage. You can get all those little cute dimples all over your vehicle's hood and the roof and all that stuff. It can go through plastic, vent covers, stuff like that. I'm not saying it will, but it can. So we're good RVers, I think. We're hypersensitive about the weather. And we decided yesterday there's a pretty good chance we're going to have to bug out, go west. Because once you go west far enough, this storm is just going to be rain. We can deal with rain.
At 3:39 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Yunus, or 9 miles west of Lake Andes, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. Hazard, 70 miles an hour wind gusts and ping-pong ball-size hail.
Alright, y'all, the first thing we're going to do is add some weight by turning on the water and filling up our freshwater tank. The next thing is, here's the RV. You see how it's pointed. It's facing almost south. And this over here is about southwest. So somewhere between here and there is where the storm's coming from. So we're sitting pretty aerodynamic right now, which brings us to the third thing.
All right, y'all, we're letting all of our slides in. This is the last one to go. You got your phone?
Got my phone, yeah.
All right, y'all, we're headed out and we're trying to get away from the storm and at least protect the truck. We think the RV will be fine. We're praying that it will be fine.
We were gonna stay until we heard there's an area that is getting ping pong size hail, and I don't want 1,000 dimples in my truck, so we'll be back in an hour.
Okay, which direction are you gonna go?
West.
As soon as you hit the Missouri River, there's no chance of anything, and then we'll just turn around and come right back.
Yep.
I know we're wimps, but I love this truck.
You have nothing else to do anyway, right?
What am I gonna do?
You could be the storm tracker.
I'm not that crazy. All right, y'all. Welcome to Chamberlain, South Dakota. Isn't that beautiful? That is the Missouri River down there.
This is the most hills I've seen in South Dakota since we've been here. Like, this just opened up out of nowhere. All that we've seen is just flat land. Look at this.
All right. If you want to read this, you can pause it right here. This is Dignity. Beware of poisonous snakes.
Look how pretty this is. I wasn't expecting this. It's South Dakota.
I know.
Just in the, what do you call it? The plains.
Like the plains, yeah. You don't think of this until you get like out west.
Look how pretty this is.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm thinking it just goes, ooh, look at all the trails.
Now these are our kind of trails, but today is not our hiking day. Sean doesn't care.
Go either way.
And if you're wondering, the lady who owns the RV park, it's a man and wife who owns it, and the lady who's one of the owners texted us and said, good thing you left because we got hail, and they were getting the dark red stuff. They didn't predict that, so
we protected the dark horse. We're not sure about Lady Bill, but we brought the slides in and weighted her down with water.
yeah, so she should be as prepared as you can be. She's facing south, and that's south-southwest is where this beast is coming from, so we hope she's okay.
All right, y'all, we're back at the RV, and the RV park has no electricity. We took something like a little plug-in we have in the RV and plugged it into our breaker. It doesn't work, and I'm like, well, what if ours got fried? So we plugged it into our neighbors. It doesn't work, and but our surge guard is throwing some air. So I think the moral of the story is, if you're going to bug out and leave your RV, number one, turn off your circuit breaker in case, you know, there's a surge of power or whatever, and then also turn off your water. And those two things we did not do. It was our first time bugging out. We did bring the slides in. We did put water to the tanks for the wind or whatever, but we did not turn off the circuit breaker. We did not turn off the water. So those two things you should probably do if you're planning on bugging out. And Matthew's researching the surge protector to see if we have to get a new one. Those things are not cheap. So I'm hoping it's just throwing the air because the electricity is off. But we won't know till it comes back on. And because of our solar panels, we have 8, and our 6 batteries, we still have electricity. Our batteries are down to 80 because we left with our our air conditioner on. So next time we won't do that.
All right, y'all. Quick wrap up of the storm. We fared well. I'm glad that we got the Dark Horse, our truck, out of the way, because they did say there was quarter-size hail or smaller. You never want to take any chances with that because that's a lot of work to get them out.
There's an RV a few spots down and it looks like it's leaning some. I don't know what the story is with that one. And then our neighbors over there, they had this huge cedar tree blew down or just got uprooted and another tree uprooted, so something happened here.
And there's no power.
Yeah, no power. We started noticing there was no power as soon as we left Chamberlain. Like the windmills weren't working.
Yeah.